Welcome to today's webinar, The New Marketing Game Plan, Personalized Environmental Data. I will be your moderator today. For those of you who have not met me on my previous webinars, my name is Ronit Margulies, the Digital Marketing Manager here at Brisometer. Before we get started, I wanted to go over a couple of housekeeping items. Today's session will be recorded and emailed to you afterwards. There will be a Q&A session at the end of the webinar. In order to ask questions, please use the Q&A panel that can be found when you click on the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen, as that orange arrow is subtly telling you. On today's agenda, the challenges in a one-to-one connected strategy, the 5 W's of personalization, understanding your audience and crafting relevant messaging, how getting personal will increase product value, engagement, and brand awareness, other industry opportunities, and of course, your questions. Today's host is Idit Lowenstein, Marketing Director at Brisometer. Idit's work at Brisometer involves her main passion in life, creating an impact and working towards a meaningful cause to improve the lives and health of millions. Take it away, Idit.
Thanks, Ronit. Glad to be here. This is really exciting. So for those of you who don't know us, Brisometer is a 5-year-old big data company with a mission to bring air pollution awareness to billions of people around the world, helping them make informed decisions, protecting their family, and improve their overall quality of life. Brisometer gathers information about air pollution, pollen, weather, and fires on an hourly basis across over 92 countries, and delivers it via simply structured, easy to understand API to be displayed in an intuitive way on any device, screen, app, or dashboard. Brisometer is committed to constantly update the most relevant environmental information and that has an impact on our lives. We started 5 years ago to develop an AQI, an air quality index, that is compiled and affected by the most dominant air pollutants in each country. And we recently just launched a pollen API. Our information is provided in figures as well as in personalized recommendations driven by each person's own selected health conditions. In addition, historical and forecast data for each location could be extracted according to the need. As part of our ongoing research and development, we recently launched a new fires API for citizens and organizations across the world. Fires are not only dangerous to the nearby population, but also impacts the air pollution levels drastically across much wider distances from the fire source later on. Ronit, have you ever heard of the cocktail party effect?
I can't hear you. What are you saying?
The cocktail party effect.
Are you talking to me? I can't hear what you're saying. It's just, there's too much going on in here. Idit?
The cocktail party effect.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of it?
Party effect. I have. I think I have. Can you remind me?
Yeah, sure. So the cocktail party effect is the phenomenon of the brain's ability to focus on one auditory attention on a particular stimulus while filtering out a range of other stimuli, as when a partygoer can focus on a single conversation in a noisy room.
Oh, I actually think I do know what this is, but I've heard of it called the cocktail party problem.
Yeah, exactly. So people call it that as well, because basically our ability to selectively attend simultaneously interferes with the effectiveness of attention at a neurological level.
So similar to banner blindness with visual stimuli.
Yeah, exactly. So gonna break it down for you because
tell us what it's all about.
That was a lot of mumble jumble. In today's day and age, you try to get your message across and try to be heard, but if you're not personalized, different, and relevant, you'll just continue to be the background noise or an annoying disturbance. And I'm sure you guys can relate to that. So because of all of this noise, both product and advertising and all of us marketers are faced with a whole slew of modern challenges, never faced by our predecessors. And this is true whether you're a B2B or a B2C company. So when you're trying to speak to everyone, you're in fact speaking to no one. I know it's the hard truth, but it really is. So the question is, how do you create a long-lasting and impactful relationship with customers who are hyper-informed and actually expect an impactful, relevant user experience and relationship. Otherwise, they may have no motivation to purchase or be loyal. And on top of all of this, many companies are behind in terms of digitalization. So to top this off, it also relates to competition. So not only are you being compared to yourself as your own company, but you're also being measured on all of your competition. And people are judging you and your brand based on how relevant you can get in their lives, and they're constantly comparing you to competitors that are doing a better job, not only with your technical and physical product, but also in the digital sphere. If you're not prominent in the relevant places and you don't have the proper messaging and you're not promoting yourself in the right places, then people won't want to work with you, even though the sad truth is your product may be better. So as marketers, we need to tackle this head on and get way more personal than we ever have before. In their 2019 personalization development study, Monetate outlined the ROI of personalized marketing. So in words, it makes sense, but here are some stats to kind of back this up. Personalized marketing drives growth. 93% of companies with an advanced personalization strategy saw revenue growth. Only 45% of companies without a personalization strategy saw equivalent growth. The higher the investment, the better the returns.
I know that, for example, when I'm going through my Instagram, wasting too much time, I will only pay attention. I do pay attention to ads, but really only the ones that are super relevant to profiles that I look at in Instagram, or things that are relevant to my Instagram experience.
Yeah, because they're targeting towards you and what's interesting for you. Exactly. So there's clear evidence and proof that we can relate to, but also in the market that supports personalization. It compels customers to act, and they're actively asking for more. In a recent study, actually, Infosys found that 31% of customers wish their experience were far more personalized.
True.
So if I didn't make the point yet, the urgency of personalization is now. Because the connected consumer isn't going to wait for you to get on board. And if you don't get on board quickly, you've lost them. They now expect a level of personalization on par with this user experience across connected devices, and they won't wait for you to catch up. Can't you relate?
You wouldn't even believe it. I have no patience. If you're not relevant to my life, that's it. Deleted, ignored, moving on.
Yeah, exactly. Our consumers are like the Spotify listeners. Our consumers are the Netflix watchers. They're used to their connected devices and services knowing what they want or need before they can even realize they're missing it, or before they can even know it themselves. So how can us marketers connect and personalize our services, our product offerings, and our advertisements along the user lifecycle? So the most immediate environment of all of our target audiences, doesn't matter what industry you're in, doesn't matter what you do, is the air that you breathe. What's more personal than the air that your customers are breathing, especially when it comes to different sensitivity groups, right? So children, pregnant women, elderly, allergy sufferers, they all are affected by air pollution in different ways. And the harmful effects on their families and their loved ones is something that they care about and they connect to. So when you're getting personal about their environment, and there are certain types of data they need in order to connect with your product. They want to know what happened yesterday. What were the air pollutions yesterday? They want to know right now, what are the current air quality levels? And they also want to know about tomorrow, because everyone plans in advance. And this is how you engage with them before they're a customer, and how you keep them engaged while they are a customer, and you keep them coming back.
But what makes the interaction with each individual customer different and unique? How do you ensure that you're talking to that individual, the sensitivity, whether they're in Mexico, California, France, if they're pregnant, if they're children?
That's a great question. And you know, it's so true, because in each place and each person has different sensitivities. So when you're getting personal with your customer's environment and the air that they breathe, you really are speaking their language. In marketing terms, you always keep in mind who you're speaking to, right? So you do persona research, you're trying to understand build a profile, what age, what gender, what category, who is that person, how should you be speaking, what pains they're living with. And you're constantly in the marketing world, as you can relate, are trying to solve this for them. You're trying to speak a language that can resonate with them. So in terms of environmental data and air quality, the levels change so drastically. They change on a block-to-block radius and dozens of times throughout the day. And you need to be accurate and in a high resolution. Because if you're telling someone 15 kilometers or miles away from where you are that the air quality is really great, but actually in their immediate environment, it's really bad, you're not giving them relevant information. So if you don't have that granularity, you're not having true personalization. And you just can't be personalized when you are only talking about a city or a country level or really far away from your audience. The way you relate to your environment, the environment of your users, is by showing this granular data, like I mentioned, down to a street-to-street level, and that's how you resonate with them. Personalization is all about accurate, granular, and relevant information.
Well, Dee, if our listeners or their customers are anything like me, they're visual in nature. Throw me some data, tell me it's relevant, I'll throw it back in your face. Paint me a picture of how this relates to my life, and I'll be hooked.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm the same way. I am super, super visual. And it's not a coincidence that Brisometer's heat map is our top performing feature. Even from our side, whenever we use heat maps, we use them in email campaigns, social media posts, website pages, across the board, we really do see a higher engagement because Ronit and I aren't the only people that are visual. And actually here you can see how our different features affect the time that people spend on apps, website pages, and the most engaging feature by far, this is internal data that we have, is the green, like you can see, the heat maps. Visualization is key. So this all sounds great in theory, but you may be asking yourself, how are marketers today applying to this data to their efforts? Show me some examples. Marketers, both brand and product, are actually leveraging personalized environmental data to make their efforts more targeted, relevant, and profitable. And this extends also to credibility. So authority and awareness in addition to that, so that the first time visitors will become returning loyal customers. So I know that, every meeting and meetups and everything, marketers want actionable insights and they want to take something away from this. So that's exactly what we're going to go into now. We're going to dive into how industry businesses are using environmental data to better connect with their customers and their users. So let's dive in. So this is Aldes, a French ventilation company, actually approached Brisometer when they were launching their first product in the residential sector. They wanted to start out with a digital transformation that would set the course for how they engage with their customers. As part of their digital transformation, Aldes began engaging with potential customers even before they bought their first product by integrating personalized air quality data into their existing digital assets. Here, their website. As you can see on the right-hand side, they displayed the air quality index, health recommendations, historical and forecast data, along with the different pollutants and their effects. So for companies beginning the connectivity process, it is often beneficial to engage with these low-hanging fruits, using personalized data such as air quality and pollen to build that brand awareness and credibility that you're looking for. This can be done by utilizing social media and existing digital assets that can be quickly deployed. At the same time, the companies can develop a more personalized digital platform over mobile devices or even the device control panel itself, which is exactly what they did. They started off with that initial website campaign, and then they went to this, where they build brand awareness, engagement, and authority and credibility through their products themselves. And according to Aldes, the shift to the digital transformation and partnership with Brisometer enabled them to boost product usage, keep products top of mind for their users, which resulted in increased post-sales purchases, word of mouth, referrals, higher website traffic, and brand loyalty. So just to refresh your memory, they started off with people who weren't even their customers. They displayed this data on their website for everyone to see, to start engaging with them, and they took it to the next level as well. They took the environmental data and then they put it in their apps and their products themselves. So as I mentioned before, it's a struggle that everyone's facing in every single company. When you're trying to speak to everyone, you're in fact speaking to no one. It's a major struggle that I can relate to also as a marketer. So ALK also understood the importance of the value of providing tailored messaging for each and every user based on their unique profile. Like I mentioned before, if you're children, pregnant, elderly, within their allergy companion app called Clara. So ALK is actually a leading pharmaceutical company that was recently awarded the best mobile app this past year. They had patients mitigate exposure to air pollution and pollen by advising them when to take simple and smart actions that can make significant differences. So by creating this valuable user experience, they were able to build trust, increase engagement, time on app, and actually reduce the app removal rate. Launched last year, Clara has been downloaded more than 35,000 times across the UK and Germany. All right, so Blueair is a Swedish air purification company, and they were looking for a new air quality data provider, a partner that would complement their initiative to increase the consumer's value of their product. So you can see here they have a consumer app, and they also have a connected device that they have created the opportunity for their customers to engage with air purifier devices on a regular basis, doesn't matter where they are, from any location. As outdoor air quality is super dynamic and changes dozens of times throughout the day, consumers are motivated to open up the app multiple times a day because they get push notifications and they're incentivized to open up the app. By showing these consumers the difference between the indoor and the outdoor air quality levels, which are very different, businesses like Blueair were able to demonstrate the effectiveness of their air purification systems. The air purifier became a necessity and no longer a luxury. They understood when, and they understand now, when and how to use the air purifier, which increased product usage, upsell, word of mouth, feedback, and additional sales. Also often enabling the business to increase their price point. Once consumers understand the value, they're willing to pay for it. Once they understand the value, they're willing to pay whatever price it is. So Blueair did an incredible job here. They wanted to make sure that their users understood the value of their product. And through their app and through these notifications, they were able to see that. But another thing that they did, which was really, really cool, is they developed this novel augmented reality system style website called the AirView. It's an innovative feature to contribute to educating the public regarding air pollution. So you can see here, someone can search any location and see a street level image with the description of the present air pollutants floating around. You'll see it in a second. It's going. There it is. Okay, so you see the different air pollutants floating around, such as smudges and haze across the screen. And the site also provides the air quality index number. So you can see in the top right corner that 46, that's the current air quality level.
This is really amazing, Edie. This is actually a location that I've lived in the past. And it's amazing because even when I'm not inside engaging with my air purifier, I will still be engaging with Blueair to improve the air that I'm breathing. So if I said, oh yeah, Blueair has that AirView, I'm going to check what the air quality is right now. So it's not just for my air purifier.
Right. So they stay at your top of mind.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what they actually did also is the users were presented with a button to download their app. So it was used as like an accelerator to download the app. And they also wanted the people to sign a petition for the World Air Day. So the reason why they did this, and it's a really successful way to increase their brand awareness, like Ronit mentioned, top of mind, but also make sure that their product is relevant and engaging to their visitors all the time. Okay, so this is a video advertisement that was created by Propeller Health.
Your disease can take over your life. You have to constantly remember when to take your medications and manually keep track of your symptoms. You even wind up avoiding certain activities out of fear that they'll trigger an attack.
Bear with it. It's worth it.
Makes managing asthma and COPD easier than ever and gives you the confidence to live the life you want to live. propeller sensor attaches to your hairs and records when, where, and why you have symptoms, so you can prevent attacks before they happen. Your doctor can see how you're doing as well, allowing them to tailor the treatment plan right for you. Users have up to 70% fewer attacks and up to 50% more symptom-free days. So instead of worrying about what might cause an attack, you can take control of your life through the things you love to do. Live your life without regrets. Come, learn more today.
It's great.
Wow, I love it more and more every time I watch it.
Great.
So basically, they're a leading digital therapeutic company, and they're pharmaceutical company that develops highly technological products. But with this environmental data, as you saw, they were able to make the data understandable and relatable to the audience. So people who don't come from a technical background or are not very scientific were able to understand and understand the benefits that they're receiving. So without that granularity and personalization that I mentioned before, they wouldn't be able to show the true value through videos and engaging content.
You can't fake this stuff, ED. You need to have the real data in order to make these kinds of advertisements and really speak to the sensitive community, which is asthma and COPD.
Yeah.
And offer them this actual solution. Like, here, listen, this is for you.
And also what I really love about this is that video was so easy to understand. It was engaging and it spoke to me. Like, thank God I don't have asthma or COPD, but it really speaks to a personal level, and it gets to what it gets to the point, and it gets to your heart.
It's clear.
Yeah. All right, so this is Eureka Forbes, is an Indian air purifier maker. So on the left-hand side, you can see that they have this app, which is called Dr. AeroGuard. It was created for their sales teams, actually, and distribution channels to enhance the sales experience. So when they would meet with a prospect, they would open up this app and they would ask, type in the location that they're currently standing in, and they would be able to show this prospect in real time what the air pollution levels were, what the forecast and historical levels were, the whole shebang. And that really increased engagement, and people were excited by this. So this was for a sales enablement project that they did. And then on the right-hand side, you could see the brand awareness campaign. So they sponsored a daily air quality forecast that was actually part of the weather forecast on CNN India. And they did this to promote their brand. And this is an example that even when current device capabilities don't allow for personalization, an interactive air quality app may add a customer-centric element to your offering in order to increase stickiness, engagement, and loyalty. So WeatherBug, a global leader in hyperlocal weather reporting, is actually regarded as an innovative frontrunner with one of the highest rating apps in the industry, with more than 20 million unique users per month. When looking for the next innovative step, they turned to Brisometer. They added an air quality module on their homepage, which links to this mini site, showing a detailed view of the current air quality levels, heat map, pollutant concentrations, and more. The addition of this air quality section gives WeatherBug a giant new opportunity to display relevant ads, increase click rates, length on site, and user engagement.
I'm a big WeatherBug fan, actually. So, when they added air quality data, and, not just because I work here, it's a pretty exciting thing to get everything in one website or one app.
Yeah, exactly. So McCann approached Brisometer last year when they wanted to create a viral digital campaign to increase awareness of the shockingly high pollution levels in London, with the mission of getting the government's attention to pass a new Clean Air Act. With Brisometer's data, they were actually able to create an animatronic teddy bear, believe it or not, called Toxic Toby, that would cough every time the pollution levels surpassed dangerous levels. That sent an automatic tweet to the relevant MP in that riding. And they also created a whole website to promote this campaign, which displayed Brisometer's data there as well. Because the data was hyperlocal to the local population, they saw the significance of this campaign, the relevancy to their lives, and the safety. This campaign was a huge success. As you can see, they got 88 million news coverage views, 16 countries reported, and got the bill passed. What's really, really cool is that teachers would also take students to the Toxic Toby set up on different street corners and educate them about air pollution and the importance of being aware of the air that they're breathing. McCann became a lead advocate and authority on air pollution awareness, creating a huge buzz around air pollution and affirming their reputation as one of the most creative ad agencies in the world. So if you think you can't use air pollution data in a creative campaign, you are wrong. So one of our partners wanted to do a very, very targeted email campaign. They used Brisometer's air pollution data to inform their database about the air quality levels wherever they live. The partner then offered them a specific solution to deal with the air pollution in order to ultimately increase purchases and, of course, as we're all trying to do, brand awareness. So with the implementation of the air quality to the email efforts, they were able to send a highly personalized message relating to the exact location of the potential person and the potential or current customers, which actually resulted in much higher engagement and ROI in purchases and upsells. And I think we can all relate to this. If I receive an email and it doesn't speak my language or show anything relevant to me, delete. But when you get people to open up this email and you see something that says, today, my name in this specific location right now, this is the air quality, it's kind of impressive.
I'm going to take notice, that's for sure.
I wouldn't press delete right away. So UNICEF approached our partner Spearable, a self-serve personalized video platform that enables some of the biggest brands in the world to create, optimize, and scale thousands of highly relevant and personalized videos across the channel using data. This results in efficiency, cost gains, and better advertising performance. As part of a wider advocacy campaign, UNICEF UK was running to educate the UK public about risks and air pollution posed to their health, particularly the health of children, and inspire them to sign a petition to protect children from breathing this toxic air. So with the air quality data provided by Brisometer and Spearable's platform, which allowed them to seamlessly and easily generate mass production of localized assets, UNICEF ran a campaign on social channels directing the viewer to sign up for their petition. With only 2 weeks of the campaign, they nearly reached the goal of 50,000 signatures. And in their words, we found that the localizing approach worked and was effective, bringing real-time data, increased urgency of ask, and lowered CPA when compared with national tests. This is also a really interesting one. So companies can also use their data in, as we mentioned, mobile apps, but also in banners and road billboards, that's the word, and also in billboards to show what the air pollution level is at a specific location. So if you're sitting at an intersection and you look up at this billboard, you'll see in real time if the air quality is poor, moderate, excellent, whatever it may be. That's cool. I mean, if you're driving and you see something dynamic, you'll look at it. But what's even better is it gives them an action. It tells them, turn on your air purifier and improve your air quality. That gets you thinking, and honestly, that's something that stays on your mind, increases word of mouth sales and engagement for sure. So another opportunity to leverage environmental data in marketing efforts is something that one of our partners took advantage of, called sponsored ads. As marketers, don't have to explain that. It's probably something you're familiar with. And in this specific example, the use of the data can benefit both a news publication and also the advertiser trying to get higher traffic to their ads. Something like what you see here, where the news publication sold ad space to a leading pharmaceutical company, on the publication side, having relevant ads on their website. And the pharma company benefited from the news publication readership. So when the reader clicked on that logo you see on the bottom, it went to the company's branded landing page, showing the local pollen levels with a CTA, because everything needs a CTA, to get in touch. It's a really cool flow. So to summarize, because we're really running out of time here, personalized environmental data is a huge contributing factor to innovate, engage, and ensure that your messaging is really on point, enabling that you surpass your goals and your KPIs. Not only will your marketing strategy become more effective, laser focused, but you can see an increase in sales, brand awareness, product adoption, and bottom line success. The beauty of Brisometer's environmental data is that it's provided through an easy to integrate API, and everything can be customized to support your vision. So creativity is encouraged, and the data can be customized based on what your actual campaign is.
Thanks, Edie. And thanks for everyone for sticking around. For today's takeaways, consumers are overexposed to endless streams of new products and advertisements. Marketing to the market to the individual and not the masses. Hyperlocal environmental data provides opportunities for highly personalized efforts. The proper integration of air quality and pollen data can yield these scalable business results, as we discussed today. We're running a bit over time, but for those of you who have stuck around, we are going to take a few questions. Please send them through. We have one here, Edie, if you will bear with me. If my company is not air quality related per se, how do you see us using air quality data?
It's a really good question because, there are probably people here from many, many different industries. But the thing that is common upon all of us is that everyone breathes. And a large sector of the population suffers from pollen allergies, and a huge segment of any target audience. You can basically connect any type of product, from cosmetic to lifestyle to automotive. Any type of company can use this environmental data to make their app or their product more engaging and impactful. So at the end of the day, everyone breathes. So it's a topic that everyone can relate to.
Thanks, Edie. We have a few more questions.
Wait, let's just look through them.
Do I need to have a physical product to capitalize on environmental data for marketing?
That's a really good question. So you don't need any physical product. So as you saw before, if you have a mobile app, any online advertising, any type of awareness campaigns, videos, physical stores also.
What about a franchise restaurant?
Yeah, so a franchise restaurant, that's a great point. They can also use the data. So, they can use the data to kind of tell people, if they put a billboard outside of their franchise restaurant and say, the air quality levels outside are really, really poor, come into our restaurant.
Have a coffee, breathe some clean air.
Have a snack, order an appetizer.
Have a scone.
Whatever it may be, they're able to push forward and engage with people and kind of grab their attention to come into their restaurant.
Really use that street traffic and the relevant thing that they're suffering from to get them inside the store or the restaurant.
Yeah, everyone is affected by air pollution, so.
Indeed. Well, Edie, I think we're coming towards the end of this. I really want to thank you for being with us today. It was really a fascinating webinar. I want to thank all of you guys for staying with us to the end, and stay tuned for the next upcoming webinar where hint, spoiler, all your questions about air quality data and all environmental data will be answered, hosted by our chief scientist.
Oh, that's definitely one you don't want to miss.
So we'll see you guys on it, and have a great rest of your day.
Thanks, Renee. This was great.